notorious for that?
A lot of time. I mean, we've dealt with it slamming from like side to side between plan and survey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, other than that, it's just been constantly up because we've either been mapping or on a dive.
You know what's really tragic though is that you lost the look at your turn.
Yeah, I know. I think it was. I mean,
think it was probably your best one.
Rennie did part of it, but yeah, I think it was my best one.
Since there's no evidence of it, it has to be.
I was just saying now, I don't think I've had an uneventful turn. Something has happened every single time.
What did I miss?
A high pack crash.
High pack crashed and all the lines cut out.
Oh, jeez.
But through my ride on the struggle bus and Miles' help, we figured it out.
It's sometimes useful to have cameras all over the ship.
Yeah.
People see you struggle and
he
come
just
to your
sat down
aid.
there and watched me for a little bit and then said, I can't deal with this anymore.
We had that this morning. We were setting up for our interaction at 3:30 a.m. and we're having a little bit of trouble, and they can see us on that camera and came down to help us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw you struggling. I didn't come to help.
It's okay. Do you know how to set up an interaction?
No, not really.
That was my first time setting an interaction. Yeah, for the people
Yeah,
that
I
are
would just start
following
pushing
us,
buttons.
You could
Probably wouldn't help.
set up interaction with us for 20 to 30 minutes with groups of students or researchers. It's pretty fun. So if we find the wreck, how many days will be needed to, I guess it depends on what we find, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we probably could have spent 4 days working on it. Yeah, it's not going to be a problem. Well, it could be a large debris field, but it's probably going to be, the main parts of it are going to be fairly small. So kind of what you do first is you do a full fly around and check it out and identify it and check, like, kind of characterize the condition and what the site looks like. You want to drive around and find the extent of the site beyond just using the sonar. So identify the debris field and what, you know, just so we get an understanding of how the site or the parts of the aircraft settled on the seabed and potentially what caused the explosion and at what point, what place at the aircraft it was, what caused the crash of it. We would also do a full video photogrammetry run, so that we would do overlapping lines with the video where we don't zoom in or change the tilt of the camera at all, so that we could then put it into a software that generates 3D mosaics. So there's quite a bit of investigation that we could take quite a bit of time for. If it were to be found, you know, later in the expedition, we would do our best to do as much of the characterization as we can in the time that we have.
What is the part that excites you the most about this whole process? Because it can be like really, it demands a lot of patience, right?
Oh, it does take a lot of patience, and I can't say for sure that I have much patience, but I'm working on it. So, I mean, it's the thrill of discovery, and it's the history, the importance of this site to aviation and the kind of the beginnings of circumnavigating through the air, and so finding whether they're shipwrecks or aircraft wrecks or whatever it is, finding wrecks in deep water that have never been found before, especially ones that have a historical significance and impact, is very exciting and interesting, and it takes a lot of, as you can see, a lot of background research, a lot of planning, a lot of teamwork. Deep sea exploration is not something that one person can do. You know, it takes, I think there's like 45 people on the boat, and that's true for all deep water exploration. So it certainly is worth the. There certainly is a payoff, and it's worth the effort when. And a lot of the patience and watching these, surveys come in and that sort of stuff. It is worth it when it's found and we're able to document it and understand and learn what happened, as well as pay respect to the Captain Music and his crew who perished in the crash.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, to respond some of the questions we have, what you can see in camera 1 is the return from our sonar, and it has been mostly rocks and sediments. We have 44 targets right now.
I believe it's 47.
Okay, now we have identified 47 possible interesting dive sites for later on.
This whole green line thing is going to annoy me until...
What green line?
Yeah, can we make
those
that green line
lines.
blue?
Green line on a green
The
background.
USBL.
Oh, the USBL, yeah, I can change that. That's
about
easy.
purple?
What color would you like?
Purple.
Purple.
He already said
Yeah,
purple.
purple.
Okay.
That's a good color.
Oh, Vessel Trek. Oh, no, that's not. Yeah. I don't know how to change the line color. No.
What's
That
Purple.
This purple?
That one.
Yep.
Okay.
Excellence.
Apply.
All right. Good job.
Thank you. That's good. That's actually very visible.
Yeah, it's better than blue even.
If you are following us, you can go to the quad panel. You'll see how we changed the line color. Now it's purple. Easier to see, I guess.
Note that in the log.
Mhm.
The line has been changed to purple.
That's not it.
It's to match the purple sea cucumbers, right?
Yes.
Of course.
Mhm. It's not that we are all obsessed with sea cucumbers. Just in case you're wondering, we're just
All obsessed
There's
with
nothing.
sea
There's nothing
cucumbers.
wrong with being obsessed with sea cucumbers.
It's just that there's a lot of them.
And nothing else.
And nothing else.
There's rocks.
That's
Interesting
it. That's it.
thing
I'm
is
counting
that
rocks.
if you think
1
about it, it's
million.
not that many. How many do we have? 100
28.
And we've definitely missed a lot.
We haven't
Yeah,
been
for
counting the whole
sure.
time either.
We started last night, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's been about 24 hours.
Yeah. And we've been not counting unconfirmed. So if it looks like it might be one, usually we don't. Like that one down there could
Yeah.
be. But we don't know.
Because if we get a good estimate, then we can calculate how much area we've covered with the Argus cam, and then we can extrapolate that and see how many sea cucumbers are in the
Density
area.
of sea cucumbers, yes we can.
That's right.
They definitely sometimes come in little groups, though.
There's also been some dinner plate jellies, larvation houses, maybe tiny squids. That also just might be more sea cucumbers. The occasional small fish, cephalophore, and shrimp or copepod.
Cool.
Nice. Welcome to the people that are following us from Samoa. It's so good to have you with us.
Do you think if they're on the north end, they can see us?
Yes.
Do you think what?
If they're on the north side of the island, they could see us.
Of American
Oh, yeah.
Samoa.
They can see
Yeah.
the
Or,
road.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can
Is
see
it
them.
possible that we share with our audience the last 3 targets?
Sure. So we have just the last 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So target 45 is that little guy.
Mm-hmm.
Target 46 is that little guy.
Hmm.
So do we think that's a
Rock.
repeat of one thing?
I'm not
times?
sure. It might be.
Okay.
When I pulled this stuff into the sonar processing, it still looked like that, so but I didn't sort of get the same sort of stretching and wiggles, so I need to look at it more carefully to see what I believe and what might not be. So, and then 47 is that. So this to me looks like one of those lava flows we saw that has that ridge and then the sediment infilled it, and then so you get some shadow in there. That's what I think a lot of this stuff is. Because Samoa is a volcanic island. I'm interested in, and we're going to go back over this later tonight on the way up. This one is cool because it has a very square thing here, which nature doesn't do very often. So anyway, see what that is. Maybe it's another refrigerator.
I think I found a lawn chair on one of my first dives ever.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Was it like set up? Like
Yeah, it
someone
was
sitting in
like
it?
sitting up, and then there was a bunch of things living on it.
Nice.
We were snorkeling in the lagoon in Majuro, which is the capital of the Marshall Islands, one afternoon, and there's like a whole bunch. There's like a bucket that had like a grate over it because it was how they pulled in salt water for I think flushing toilets and stuff. And there's a whole bunch of other just junk dumped over there over time, including 2 wheelchairs. And we were like, what? Why don't you just dump a wheelchair in the water off your dock? It's weird.
Yeah, either you like got better and you don't need it.
You got better.
It's a really bad place to put it, or someone
Yeah.
needs that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I haven't seen a wheelchair underwater before. But there were 2 of them. I was like, okay. Oh boy. I'd stick with default.
I'm afraid to touch anything anymore. It is what it is. But we are streaming, tracking on this line.
Was any of you part of the expedition that went to the Galapagos?
No, I got on right after they got to San Diego after that.
Yeah,
I believe
same.
Suna was, though.
Oh, but she's not here.
I think my brother was on part of the Galapagos.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What does your brother do when he's part of the crew?
He used to do data engineering.
Oh, cool. I'm just wondering if the bottom looked similar to this, since both islands are volcanic and both are originated by hotspots. So maybe the rocks are very similar.
Yeah, I know the seamounts that we were checking out, which are basically just undersea volcanic eruptions that never made it to the surface, like the islands.
Yeah.
A lot of their rock structures looked very similar, just with a little more life than this flat spot that we're looking at here.
Mm-hmm. So to give our audience a better idea of how far is Argus from the bottom, should we say that it's like a building of like a three-floor building, or higher than that?
Um,
I think it's probably about a 2-story building.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
15. No, that's meters.
Or would that be 4 then? Because it's usually about
Yeah.
10 feet.
It's like a 4-story building.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe if we wanted to see something through the camera, well, we have a pretty good resolution, so we would see something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure we would.
we see all the rocks.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
feel the rocks, yeah.
Yeah, we're just waiting to come across something that looks like part of the debris field.
Mm-hmm. Is there a possibility that parts of the wreck are all covered in mud and they wouldn't appear?
I don't think so.
No.
The
single
sedimentation is not high enough here that it would cover something in 81 years.
Okay.
And there is some slumping, but the area that we've been looking in is fairly flat. If we were looking in an area that was much more mountainous, there could be like mudslides and sort of things that could bury stuff. But I don't think out here it would.
Okay.
Oh no. Tragic. Send it down.
2 updates.
Welcome to the people that are following us from Japan and the Russian Federation.
Do you have charger over there?
It's good to have you with us. Almost time for the sunset. Thanks, Steve, for helping us watch the sunset.
Yeah, in the quad view there you can see kind of the corner of the sunset, but also the island that is just off of our port side right now. And that's the island that the Samoan Clipper would have been headed back to try to land. So they got quite close. Just troubleshooting the IPOD system over here.
Yeah, we'll have to keep that in mind when we do when we try to target other things as well.
Oh, that's the one I was talking about earlier, that target from yesterday.
Oh, Larry, I must have missed it when you offered everyone grapes, huh?
What's that?
Must have missed it when you passed the grapes around, huh?
I think you did.
I think we all missed it.
I think I did it so fast. I'm sorry,
I
guys.
see how it is.
I guess she doesn't get any more chocolate.
Yeah.
I can go really quick and find some grapes if you want.
Nah, that's good. I'm just messing with you.
As you can see in the quad, we've had this kind of ocean, beautiful and calm. We've been very, very lucky, I guess. Have you ever tried to sing for our audience? No.
No. Well, like an audience ever? Or like on here? Yes, no, maybe so.
Yeah, have you ever sang for an audience?
In situations like this where the return
It's
from
about
our
the same.
sonar is not very exciting, I guess, I don't know what a crew can come up with, you know.
So,
Are you saying you want to sing, Blair?
I've sung in front of people before. I prefer not to.
I sing in the car when I'm by myself.
Oh, yeah, what kind of music do you sing?
Mostly hard rock and metal.
I can't see you doing that.
I don't scream, like melodic metal, not like hard, not like death metal or anything like that.
Any favorite bands?
Yeah, quite a few.
Not talking about them.
Let's see. I like Avenged Sevenfold quite a bit. Disturbed. If that says something. Hailstorm. That sort of band. I was trying to think of ones that people may have heard of. Yeah, that's not. I mean, it's not terrible, but it'll give us a good indication of where we are when we're on the way up. So I would kind of like aim for target 31, and then it'll kind of maybe get everything. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. I mean, and if we go right over it, then we'll be able to see it with the camera. Win-win.
Perfect.
It's probably like a 2-hour line to get up there. So it won't be on our watch.
Oh.
No, it will not.
That's okay.
They can do all the driving for us.
I would, yeah, because we're going to then have to do a fairly tight turn to get on line 16, but I guess you could just put it out to maybe left of the start of 16, and then we can just stop the ship and let Argus catch up.
Yeah, if I, or actually, we can just use target 30 or 31 as our points.
Yeah, that'll work.
And
Yeah.
the other one.
Yeah.
And then from there, just swing out.
Yeah.
And around.
Yeah.
All right. That's what we'll do.
Cool. Thanks.
Of course.
Yeah, I think trying to go over and just do a little bit more on the west, just it'd be a lot more turning just for not much area covered.
Yeah, we can do it
We'll
once
call
we're
it
over
a
there.
we'll call it a tie line.
So even if no one does it, would anyone here consider themselves good at singing?
No.
Nope.
No.
No one?
What was the question?
Would you consider yourself good at singing?
Oh, no.
Valeria? No?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
At least it's one of us.
That's funny.
I mean, like, I can consider myself a lot of things.
But yeah, okay.
But
yeah.
you know.
I always thought for the longest time, like, I was bad at singing because I was like, oh, you know, bad genes, I just don't have, you know, a good range or whatever. And so I finally, like, one day I was just like, oh, you know, Dad, like, this is your fault for, you know, your genes not being able to sing. He goes, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, this whole side of our family can sing. Wait a minute. So why am I so bad? He goes, I don't know. It's like when you're singing along to songs in the car and there's like friends in the car and they're like, please stop, you're ruining the song.
So sunset is happening.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
log this
we
one.
can't see
All right.
So this is
a lot.
like 70 meters to port.
Would I be able to, once you're done there, get those?
Do you have a description for this?
Blocky and linear. Get what?
Get those coordinates so that we could compare it real
Well,
time.
you can see them right there.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So yes, you can.
Just give me a
Can
second.
you move the screen slightly left, please? It's just barely cut off on my monitor. Yes, perfect.
But Chris, put there's a target lat long and a navigation lat long. They're different, so maybe put both of those and see what that looks like too.
Roger that.
I'm gonna move it down
Perfect.
so we can see better. So this is what, target 48?
Yes.
I don't like it how it puts longitude before latitude.
All right,
Yeah, I
thank
don't
you.
either. I'm leaving it up for Chris.
Got it.
Alright, I'm all set.
All right.
Thank you.
Save. What's the green line?
No
That's
idea.
weird.
What's that? Yeah.
Is that something you did?
Well, it'd have to be. I'm the only one touching it, but maybe just because I had the window open for a while. I don't know. It'll go away.
What target number is this for us?
48.
48? And,
I'm gonna ask you all a question that someone asked David Attenborough some years ago. When did you guys start having an interest for the natural world?
Well, for me, it was in grade school when I got into the Blue Planet documentary series, and especially loved the deep ocean section of it. And was absolutely thrilled when they made a Blue Planet 2. It's a great documentary if anyone hasn't seen it yet.
How old were you?
Grade school, don't really have an age, but pretty early on.
Oh, that's cool.
I kind of cite, one of my early memories as a kid was turning over rocks and logs, looking for salamanders in our neighborhood.
Cool.
Yeah. And then similarly, when I was in high school, Planet Earth came out, and I watched the behind the scenes, and I was like, that's what I want to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you decided what you wanted to do very early.
Well, in high school. I guess is that early?
I mean, for me, yes, because I
Yeah.
decided.
I decided in 4th grade.
I used to, my first thing I wanted to be was a zookeeper. And then I wanted to be a Hollywood stuntman.
That's the same.
And I settled on like a filmmaking. So.
Because that's also the same.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Well, I guess like film, like documentaries on animals, then stunts, film, and now you're doing. I guess you could say they're all related. I guess in a way.
Yeah, sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm trying, man.
Chris,
Those aren't too bad, Chris.
Yeah, no, the targets are
hi. Hey, you're busy
within
now.
100. Yeah, sorry, I was
Interesting.
just doing some target stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, since I could remember, grew up on the water, so I always loved the water. I always knew I wanted to work on it. I couldn't imagine living somewhere that wasn't coastal.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, there's some big, you know, lakes or something, but no, I need it to be like on the coast, like an ocean right there. But I just took a liking to science in school. And from, I think it was 5th grade, we went on a trip to Woods Hole and went on board one of the NOAA ships. And we got a tour around there, and I was like, okay, this is how I'm going to work on the water. And that's what I planned on doing until junior year. I found out about the Coast Guard Academy and the Coast Guard's mission, and changed paths slightly.
So you had been planning to do the NOAA Corps?
Yeah, I didn't even know actually about like the NOAA Corps and how that works until I learned about the Coast Guard Academy and that they went through OCS, and then the whole NOAA Corps does training in the same science building that I take my classes in.
Oh, all right. I didn't know
So it's
that.
kind of funny how things come together like that, but yeah, and now here I am on an internship.
Awesome. Mike?
Yeah, I learned about shipwrecks in 4th grade when my family and I went down to Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute and saw they were playing kind of on a loop the Nat Geo film of Ballard's discovery of Bismarck, and they also introduced the Jason Project, which was at the time his sort of version of Nautilus Live, but where he would take 24 high school students out on an expedition each year, and then so that got me into shipwrecks, and then I applied in '96 to his Florida Keys expedition and didn't get it, and then applied to the '97 Yellowstone expedition. Then I got to go as a Jason Argonaut.
Cool.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, Yellowstone was probably as far from shipwrecks as you can get, but it still got me exposure to the process and to Ballard himself, and stayed in touch with him. And then he happened to start his dual degree program in archaeological oceanography at URI the year that I graduated college. So, and I had done a double major in geology and archaeology, so I was
That's perfect.
fit in pretty well. And so it was pretty cool. And then I did 8 years of grad school under him, and then worked for Nautilus for another 5 after that. And then I moved down to Jacksonville, Florida, and joined Search when Jim Delgado joined them as senior vice president there.
Sweet. Sounds so cool. What about you, Wendy?
Is the question about natural world or how we got
Yeah,
into what we
it was
do?
natural world.
Oh, sorry.
But
I went on the tangent.
I mean, I think I always kind of liked things as a kid. I mean, like when I was really little, I wanted to be a dolphin trainer for a little while.
Nice.
I probably I went to the aquarium a lot as a kid, like when we'd go visit my grandparents.
Where is that?
They were in Connecticut, so we went to Mystic Aquarium a lot.
Cool.
And
Mystics, awesome.
so I don't know. I feel like I don't really remember exactly when I started, but I feel like this is just something I kind of grew up with.
Did you guys miss one? one of your
Are we still counting those
one of your
things?
sea pickles
Oh,
went
we
by.
missed a lot.
Oh no!
I
it's
think he got
okay.
distracted by high pack.
There's been like 6.
It's been killing
There's
me.
been like 6. You're not telling them. Yeah, I gave him a lot of work to do.
It's okay. That's that's what I'm here for, not to count sea cucumbers. That's just a pastime
That is
when
more
I
of a data logger job, probably.
don't have that much work to do.
I can take over if you want.
Yeah, just call them out.
All right.
What's that stuff?
I don't know. It almost looks like
Best
a can.
guess?
Looks like a can and a
Something else.
something else, yeah.
Trash.
Not a rock.
A funnel.
What was that little thingy, Rebecca? Did you see that?
Yeah, look, talking about like the eel-like fish.
Mm-hmm.
Might be some sort of juvenile cusk
Oh,
eel,
yeah. Mhm.
but that's a total guess.
I'm glad you picked up the eel like fish, fish like eel thing. They were doing that all last cruise. And because it was it Rob that wrote in and like said that? Because we were talking, we're like, oh, I wonder what that is. And he goes, oh, is it a fish like eel or an eel like fish? And we generally contemplated it for the longest time until someone goes, isn't an eel a fish? And we're like, oh, right. And he was just doubled up. He thought it was so funny. But yeah, now everything we do is fish like eel or eel like fish.
Welcome to the people that are following us from India and Cyprus. It is great to have you.
Welcome.
I feel like we need like a printout sheet of like welcome or hello in like a bunch of different languages.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good.
But then they might think that we speak that language and start writing in questions.
I feel like the way we pronounce it will tell them
Sorry,
very
it'll give us
clearly.
away.
Absolutely. I
We
am
do
actually
not.
pretty surprised that people ask
Sea
me
cucumber.
questions in English.
That's right. My sister's a couple years older than me, and when she was in high school, she had a kid in her class that took Spanish for all 4 years. And you figure you should have some pretty good conversational Spanish by then. And the final senior year for Spanish, part of it was oral, was to have a conversation with a teacher. And the teacher introduced herself and like asked them who they were. And this kid looks at her and goes, Me llamo Steven.
Oh my god.
You're for Spanish.
Oh my god.
I remember doing one of those exams, it was only maybe my second or third year of Spanish, probably my second year, and I kept finding ways to use foods that were like, like taco
Yeah.
as my answers to things.
Burrito, tortilla.
Oh god.
I did Latin in high school. That's not conversational at all anymore.
Oh, but it's so fun.
It is fun, yeah.
Oh god.
It's actually what helped me get into terrestrial archaeology because
Of course,
I'd taken Latin, I was interested in the Romans and stuff, and there was a Roman archaeology class my first semester in college that I took kind of because I needed a 4th class, and it was awesome. So then I took more classic and anthropology classes.
Yeah, that's so great. I took Old Greek,
Yeah.
and it was, of course, not useful at all, but I loved it because it introduces
Yeah,
you
because you
to a
get to
lot of...
read like ancient texts and learn their history at the same time.
Exactly, it was pretty awesome. So, yeah, welcome to the people in Greece that are following us. That's awesome.
Yeah, we did quite a bit of work in Greece, quite a few expeditions to the Santorini and Colombo volcanoes in the middle of the Aegean Sea. We worked with volcanologist Evi Nomiko back in 2006 on a different ship, the URI's Endeavour. And then with Nautilus, I think it was in 2010, 11, and 12 that we did work in Greece.
Nice.
I have not been, but that is definitely a place I'd love to go.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The Aegean coast of Turkey is really, really nice too.
So cool.
So far, I've been to Switzerland, France, Italy, kind of on the top of a mountain. We took
Like
a
the
cable.
Alps?
Yeah, we took a cable car over, and technically the top was in Italy.
If you've been
but
across the border, it counts.
Yeah, but they wouldn't let you go down without a passport.
Yeah.
And we did not have our.
But you set foot over the boundary, right?
Yeah,
Then it
technically.
counts. Then it counts. I mean, we were also took Nautilus into port in like Bulgaria, just to do a quick paperwork thing, and we didn't get off the ship, but I still count it. We were in Bulgaria.
True.
But is that kind of like when you have a layover in an airport?
Not really, because you're not like in an airport. We were outside. We were.
I guess
Like
so.
we weren't walking. Like have I seen? Because I've been to a couple of cities in California. I haven't seen all of California, but I've still count the state having been to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just being out in the open, being able to see like nature and stuff. I think because like with airports, you're just inside.
Yeah.
Definitely doesn't count for
So
airports.
it's like, yeah, I was in London for about 16 hours this summer, but it was all in the airport.
You were in the airport for 16
It
hours.
was 2 7-hour layovers, and they were in the middle of the night.
That's awful.
I was gonna say you should have left.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
I think I have a 6-hour layover in LA.
I don't know how long my LA one is.
I have 14 in Honolulu on the way back.
Oh man.
You could go do something with that.
Yeah, as long as I can find do they have like places you can check, like a locker you can put your luggage?
I think so, because I looked at it when I was flying out, because I was supposed to have a really long layover. It sounded
Sea
like there
cucumber.
was. But they only have certain hours.
Was that a sea cucumber?
Certain hours?
But I
wow.
think it's like 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. or something.
The purple one?
Mm-hmm.
Depends what
Okay.
time.
I thought so.
Yeah,
Does it look
I
like
think it's
more like a
midnight I
jellyfish
get
or?
in.
Yeah.
We're gonna count it.
Has anyone of you have been in South America?
No, actually.
No.
No.
This is my first time south of the equator.
Same.
First time on the west coast as well.
Oh, cool, cool.
I guess we're not really on the. Can't really refer to things as west coast of America anymore because.
American Samoa is
Mhm.
Yeah,
it's not really the West Coast though.
Yeah.
It's a Western territory.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm on the west coast of the Americas.
Yes.
It's not South
Correct.
America, but I made it to Costa Rica, which is central.
Cool.
That was amazing.
I know maybe sometime I'll get on a ship that heads down there. Occasionally we have ships that will do trips, a lot of interactions with other Coast Guards for training or just for conferences.
So we have a question about why are we excluding the southeast in our search, and we have analyzed the archives and the information we have about the reported crash, and that's how we decided the area that we were going to survey.
We just have one more short line after this.
Yeah, it got extended, but we're gonna cut it short, just because the end of it's in an area that we're not gonna get great readings and be able to tell much anyways. We'll go northwest and check out